from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no longer them, military shots out them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 16, 38 May, memories still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I got that day. Remember when me tell you say I got that day. Yeah, I remember that one that called us a Bruce Mero. But the way would you go like a Papa Nuku? But them they were going to me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi Samiro, me tell you what my day. For we just fall on the rest of man, I tell you what I me never give up, me tell them
I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra. May your soul rest in peace.
I look up to the sky with tears in my eye. For other Biafrans and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, you'll never be apart.
They fought for our freedom. They died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front without food, without guns. For our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes. We want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart. Forever, 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 and never, and never, and never.
We serve in your plantation. And the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We bled in our history that the death of our people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now if not you? You died at Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in the heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes, so I'm falling here.
This is for my fallen heroes. Give them motivation, people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. Yeah. They died for me, for the freedom of my unborn child. Yeah. We live for the legacy.
Yo,
never be afraid. March on, cause we are more than conquerors. Yeah, you know what it is. We must revenge, and we must stand to represent who we are.
You keep on supporting evil in the zoo, the more your land will be taken from you. The more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Because one idiot that they groomed will rise up and say to you, oh no, it's one Nigeria, there is crime everywhere. Haven't you heard about Zamfara? Haven't you heard about Katsina? There is crime everywhere. That is not the case. The crimes you have in the north, the insecurity you have in the north is as a direct consequence of their own actions. They grouped them. Al-Qaeda in the Nigeria, ISIS in West Africa, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, bandits, all of them. Who brought them to Nigeria? It's Fulani. Fulani brought them into Nigeria. Everybody brought them in. All the state government brought them in. Are you deaf and dumb and stupid? When you come out and you pretend, oh, we are one Nigeria, go and show. Somebody was asking, where is the boundary, where would the boundary of Biafra begin? And I asked the fool, where did the boundary of Nigeria begin? People from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building a railway line to Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, we don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money. You come to you come to Onaji, you come to Ebema, you come to Agulere, you come to Ebo, you take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building a way to be careful, and you want me to be happy with you. Clap for your Nigeria. One Nigeria. I think you are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, you take our manpower, you take everything, our VAT, our tax, you are now building a road from Katsina to Niger. Airport to Niger. Refinery to Niger. You take oil, put oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum. And you're telling me that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. We are in one Nigeria. You're not going anywhere and you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak for you, they gave them money so that they will come out, pages of the newspaper to give the world the giving impression that everything is okay. When things are go and see the contradictions in it. Nigeria is not working. We are marginalized. And then you come back to say Nigeria is one. You must stay in it together. Are you not foolish? These are the useless intellectuals that you have. On one hand, you say Nigeria is not working. You're marginalized. You are being discriminated against. You are suffering. They are killing you everywhere. And you come back to the same place and say Nigeria must be one. Had Nigerians gotten together to say they want to be part of this useless contraption, that's entirely their business. So I mean, Democrats have subscribed to it. But have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that all those asking you to remain in one Nigeria has something to gain from Nigeria, or they have benefited in the past? Nothing more, nothing less. I saw the letter that Atiku Abubakar wrote to President Biden. In it, Atiku Abubakar said, come and help us fight terrorism in order to ensure that there will be no regional destabilization. That is their game plan at the U.S. State Department for very many years, until we stepped in. They keep trotting out these lies. Once Nigeria breaks up, there will be destabilization in the entire region. I said that because you don't understand African history. Most of these people are not taking it. When I say it, they say I'm insulting them. No, I'm not insulting you. Most of them take it. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. We always go back to our village where we are born, where our umbilical cord, our long, where it was buried. That's where we come from. That is why every Christmas, Easter, New Year festival, or August meeting, you see us migrating back to where we come from. And I keep saying these things to Africans, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everywhere in Africa during Christmas, if you like, be in South Africa, if you like, let it be in Kenya, you let it be in Rwanda. Everybody from the capital goes to the village. If you go to Accra, the same thing happens. This past Christmas, if you like, go to Cotonou. Be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever, we pray. He say. One thing is obvious that I want to remind the zoo this very evening is that we are indestructible. And we are not going to stop until we get what we are looking for. What we're asking for is simply a referendum that will lead us to the democracy, the freedom, the liberation that Biafra portends, not just for the trapped and subdued indigenous populations in the damnable contraption called Nigeria, but the whole of Africa as well. Because right now we are in a state of war. We are in a state of war. It is the express wish of the Fulani Caliphate to kill our people. Their plan during the war was to kill every male, every adult, male and female, up to the age of 10, and then groom them to become Janjaweed slaves. That was what happened. They tried that experiment with a few people. Emeka was one of them. Go and ask. Some of you do not understand your history. You have no idea where you're coming from. That is why some of you do not know where you're going to. That is why fools like Omahi are confused. That is why they do not understand what we are confronting, what we are facing. I want Dave Omahi to understand something very, 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 very carefully. To pay attention to what I have to say. You were against IPOB. Your army, your police, you people are the ones inviting the army to come and kill your own people. Our land is the way it is today because of Hope Uzodinma. Hope Uzodinma thought that we are in the era of 2017, 2018, 2019. Bring the Fulani army to come, kill one or two people, and everything will be quiet. No, not anymore. They are going to die in our land. Some of you idiots, some of the people, some of you, should I say, natural born saboteurs and traitors. Some of you fools that can never see what the enemy is doing to you is only when there is a retaliation that you start to yap and to complain. I want to remind each and every one of you that Nigeria has been killing us since 1945. Since 1945. And your peaceful agitation never got you anywhere. Begging and pleading never got you anywhere. They killed in 1945, killed in 1953, killed in 1950. In fact, every year since 1945, they've been killing you. They slap you on one side, you turn the other one. That was the cut off the head of Akaloka. Nobody said anything or did anything about it. That is why none of you is amongst the Security Council in the zoo. You don't even understand. You don't even reason very well. You think that by saying yes, sir, to everything that Fulani says, that they will love you. You are a fool. Therefore, why you are an idiot. You are a fool, a complete idiot. You should have focused on your 419. You should have used your computer to be scamming white people. That is your job. Or that was your job, and maybe it still is. Before you became, the Fulani picked you up. Because what the Fulanis did was to go and pick up vagabonds in our land to make them governors. And yourself. Will you people come out in the public to speak? When our land was our land, can you people come outside to speak? Because in our land, once you are a criminal, you will not be allowed to speak in public. Once you are a thief, you can never be allowed to speak in the gathering of the elders. It's impossible. You cannot do it. But of course, we are living in strange times. We are living in the time of the Fulani Janjaweed. That was, if not that people rose up and said, no, Ararume would have been the governor of Imo State today. Another criminal, another murderer, another killer. These are the type of vagrants that the Fulanis are bringing to come and lead us. Dave Umahi, you're telling me you don't understand what happened to your people. You don't understand that we lost 5 million people. Look at all the commissioners of police saying, oh, don't come outside. No, you can go. Dishonor the dead. Don't remember your heroes. Let me remind you what they did to you, because some of you do not know. As they were running from the aircraft, as the massacre was going on, there were Igbo people amongst the custom officers, and they dropped their chalk and they fled, only to be shot in the main terminal by other soldiers. I hope, Dave Ma, you're listening to me very carefully. I am not the person to remind you to honor the dead. Because with great position comes great responsibility. I don't want to denigrate the death of Abiola because he did very well for his people. The Yoruba political leaders, they fought and agitated until June 12 became a public holiday. Is that not true? One man, one Yoruba man. And we lost over 5 million people. Do you see why you people are not leaders? Why you're not cut out to lead? Have you not seen Netanyahu stand before the whole world during the commemoration of Holocaust that happened in Europe? Every blessed year. Every blessed year. Have you not seen Her Britannic Majesty, the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, stand at the cenotaph the 11th of November every blessed year to remember those that fought and died for their country? Do you also know, Dave Umahi, in your stupidity, you don't even begin to acknowledge that had all these men that perished in the trenches had they not died in the trenches, look at what is happening in Plateau, look at what is happening in Taraba, look at what is happening in Benue. Look at what is even happening in Niger State. The same thing, look at what is happening in Yoruba land. The same thing could have been happening to us today. Let me tell you something that you don't know. Because these men fought and died for us. They gave us hope. That was the job of Ojukwu. Ojukwu was the Moses of our time, our trailblazer. God used Ojukwu to say to us, there is a promised land somewhere called Biafra. Only when you people are worthy will I lead you to that land. Israelites were wandering all over the wilderness for 40 years. We have been wandering now for over 50 years because of our sinful nature, because of our wickedness against our own people. This same army that killed our people and slaughtered us is the same army that you criminals are inviting into our land to kill the same people, that their fathers were killed by the same vagabonds that you're bringing in. Do you see why we despise, why you people are lower than vermin? One, you don't even know your responsibilities. You have no idea what it means to be a leader. You don't have a clue what it means to be a leader of a people. You people should have been the ones directing us and saying, these are the days we honor. These are the things we are going to do. Did you take the lead? The answer is no. Until IPOB came, or until Chukwu Kikabiyama determined that we should come. Instead of you to say, this is a very laudable initiative. How do we get the government of Nigeria to acknowledge 30th of May as the day that a grave injustice was done to a particular race? You idiots, due to what I will call political expediency, you are more or less interested in safeguarding your own private political position. Shame on all of you. Some of you say, oh, but the Yoruba agitators, they don't insult their leaders. But their leaders fought for the death of one man, one single man, Abiola, to be recognized and immortalized in the calendar of, should I say, Nigerian politics. You lost over 5 million people out of cowardice and fear. You can't even rise up to defend or argue for the right of these people to be remembered. Do you see why you're not leaders and can never lead? All of you are rent boys. What people are doing, you are Yahoo, you're just in office serving Fulani interest. And you claim you're governors. No matter if I were to be a governor, or had I been a governor in our land, there is no amount of provocation that would make me to go to Abuja to beg for Fulani soldiers to come into our land to kill our people. I will never do it. Never. Not in a billion years. But it goes to show the level of hatred that these people have for us. It goes to show the extent they are prepared to go in order to subdue the truth. And Dave Umahi is the one championing it. Why are you threatening people with their economic livelihood? Why? Their means of survival. Why? Because you know you will lose. In a straight fight, you will lose. And so Posadema is now losing. You people can make all the noise you like. You can come out and talk whatever rubbish. You can falsify the news. You can pay all the journalists in the zoo to write your own narrative. That's entirely your business. But the truth will always speak for itself. And the truth of the matter is that you people cannot win this very war. You cannot win it. Not in a trillion years, you cannot win. Nobody in history has ever defeated a volunteer army of the people. Go and read history. Nobody ever. Go and study it very, very well. We are in very critical times. If you go to my page, you will read it. I only tweeted a bit of it so that others can see. If you Google the Times Magazine of London, 7th of October 1966, you will see what they did to us in your so-called one Nigeria. If after going through this, if after reading all this, you still believe in one Nigeria, as a Biafran, more or less as an Igbo person, as an Efik person, as an Ibibio person, then believe you me, there is something fundamentally wrong with your brain cells. You're not well. And these are the people that the likes of Ojo Zokalo, Dave Umahi are forcing us to belong to. These are the people that killed us. Imagine what our soldiers will be thinking in their graves, wherever they're lying today. That the same people that came to annihilate our race are being invited into our land to continue the killing by those that claim they are political leaders. And you want me to respect you? How is that possible? How is that possible, I ask you? How? If not for IPOB, would anybody remember 30th of May? Of course not. But you are political leaders. We are the leaders. We want to go. Look at the idiot. So after this very pathetic and hopeless display of cowardice and mediocrity, you think I will allow you to go to Abuja to go and negotiate on behalf of IPOB? Is that what you think? One family will look at you, you will start wetting your pants. Your boxer short will be soaked in your memory because you're a coward, a wretched coward. The only place you people have strength in this life is to bring army to attack your own people. That is the only time that you're human. That is the only time you want to exercise your powers. But when Mietiala was raping and killing our mothers, you wretched, idiotic coward Dave Umahi came on television and was crying like a little baby. Did you ask the army to come to kill Mietiala or to flush them out of Ebonyi State? No, you did not. I gave the order to the men on the ground. And today, we have rid Ebonyi State of Mietiala terrorist group. You did not do it. We did it. Not you. The only time it matters to you is to bring in army to kill your people. That is the only time you people have courage and strength. That is why you people don't deserve to live. I'm telling you the truth. You people are evil, beyond evil. Look at Gani Adams. Iba Gani Adams. Look at Akintoye. Professor Akintoye, look at Sunday, bro. Let me ask all you idiots from the East, fools. How many times have you heard any so-called Yoruba intelligentsia or politician rise up and say, arrest them all, kill them all, do this, do? How many times I'm asking you? How many times? Yet you don't learn anything. That is why Fulanis are begging Yoruba every day, begging them, we'll give you this, don't break away. But look at you idiots begging every day. Oh, yes, sir, yes, yes, Alhaji, yes, Alhaji. You have nothing, but you don't learn. You know, you're not intelligent, all of you. So-called governors, you don't know nothing. They come, they promise you Senate president. The only people that had about 6 or 7 Senate presidents, the only one group of people out of their idiocy. When Fulani now saw all this nonsense with the help and support of the British, their white masters, ordinary Senate president you can no longer have, you can no longer get, you can no longer enjoy, never again. The time they gave it to you, it was like ping pong. After this person is that, what's that man's name again? I've forgotten his name. After that, it was Chubakadibo. After Chubakadibo, it was Parasite. After Parasite, oh my God in heaven, only one people. The same thing you're doing today, devil, all of you idiotic governors. That's what you're doing. And when you were doing it, you thought you were doing your people a great service, but you were doing them a greater disservice. Do you know why? After all that nonsense you did, thinking you're serving the zoo, you're serving a passenger, all of you are loyal, you go behind the back. Evans undermined Chubakadibo. Chubakadibo came out and undermined God knows whoever. The other person, Terrorism, came. One came. Only you people. Only one people. And when you were doing it, you thought you were advancing your political careers. But today, look at the consequences. No Igbo man holds any meaningful position, not even deputy, none. That tells you that the path you people are traveling is disastrous. Disastrous. What stops you from, there's something called magnanimity. What stops all these governors from being magnanimous? To say, okay, you people, you've done very well so far. Let us take it over from here. Every 30th of May, there's going to be a lockdown of all our land. At least, if you try it only once, believe you me, the next day your phone will ring, and that your boyfriend, that your lover, that Alhaji that is loving you, he will upgrade you maybe from one room to the penthouse of the hotel, maybe a Transcorp, where they're using you people in Abuja, because you're all rent boys. We know that for sure. We know that before they give you any position, that's what they do. They will sleep with you. Isn't that what they do to all of you? All these people you call your governors, ask them who doesn't have a boyfriend that is an Alhaji in the north. But they are married with kids. That is why they have no soul. The Fulani will need to do that to them. It's called Dandaudu, in order to remove the humanity from them. If you don't know, let me tell you. These are the idiots. Some of you, wretched. I don't know how to describe you. These are the idiots you call your leaders. Do you know the meaning of leadership? Do you even understand the meaning of leadership? Look at Yoruba governors. They are singing Yoruba national anthem in their schools. Compare that to the idiots that you have in Biafra land. Dave Rumahi. That is a local, I don't know how to put it in English language. We'll see. I am warning everybody tonight, if you come out on the 31st on Monday, you are going to die. I don't want Nigerian army to kill you and then you start blaming people that are innocent. Because some of you hate yourselves. Self-hatred is the key killer of the destiny of the East. Self-hatred. When you hate yourself, other people will hate you 4 times over. If you come out on the 31st, I'm warning everybody you're going to die. That very day down. And should the zoo army attempt any stupidity, they will be confronted on that very day too. I want people to leave the roads open. Can you hear this way on the 31st? Don't come outside. So that stray bullet will not touch you. Don't come outside. Let us settle this nonsense once and for all. Because the Nigerian army, they are made up of cowards. They always attack civilians. That's what they do. You defeat them, they start attacking civilians. Today they blocked Head Bridge. Can you imagine such rubbish? They blocked Head Bridge, shouting like mad people. What they're trying to do is to see if by inflicting collective punishment on the populace, somehow you will turn against people who are fighting for your liberation. I want to remind them that the Cameroonian army tried it in Ambazonia and it failed after 8 months. Now every Ambazonian is a freedom fighter. You know, sometimes they think that by oppressing people, by killing people, somehow they will scare you into submission, not knowing that they are grooming and breeding hardened freedom fighters that despise the zoo with every sinew of their body. That's what they don't understand it. Look at Imo State. Only because you killed Ikonso. Only Ikonso Kibu. Look at Imo State. Imagine when you kill the top leadership of IPOB and then you get to us. Imagine what will happen. Even every living organism, including amoeba and Euglena viridis, even single cell animals will perish. We are getting there very closely. And you are going to suffer. The zoo will suffer. And all of you informants, let me warn you, if you know your brother, your uncle, your sister is an informant, please prepare for the burial because they're going to die. If you're an Eze, Igwe, PG, all these people, and you're pointing hand, saying IPOB lives here, they live there, it is only a matter of time you're going to die. You will die. Because you are part and parcel of those pointing out freedom fighters to be killed by the enemy. Are you telling me that Ojukwu fought for nothing? That all our soldiers that perished between 67 and 70, that they all died for nothing? Is that what you're telling me? That today you're proudly working for the Fulani Janjaweed. Today, the border has been opened in the west. Oduduwa fighters have confronted the zoo, they have opened their border in the west. Are you aware of that? And are you aware that gallant Oduduwa fighters have opened the front in the west? All you do is to gossip, come to Facebook, come to be writing junk, rubbish every blessed day. When they came to my house to kill me on the 14th of September 2017, did I do anything wrong to the zoo? I was fighting for my people, that's all. When they killed us at National High School, what did we do wrong? What did we do? How did we offend anybody? I ask you. Nothing. They were killing us. Now that God has sent his angels to come and protect the weak, now you have discovered where your pen is. So every day you're typing and writing rubbish, as if it has any effect or it will have any effect on us. Of course, you know it will never have any effect on us. Look at the people telling you, do not come make sure you disobey this sit at home order by and the canon. Don't obey him. The same people, but in their own land they have Sharia. When all these police commissioners in River State, in Imo State, in Abia, in Enugu, in Ebonyi, when you Muslims were agitating for Sharia in the north, did anybody stop you? But you're in our land. You're in our land, telling us what to do. I said it before and allow me to repeat. As soon as Biafra comes, at every entry point into Biafra, every seaport, every airport, every land crossing, there will be a DNA kit. We'll have a sample of Fulani Janjaweed DNA on one side. And we'll have a sample of Biafran DNA on another side. We'll test everybody coming in and leaving. If you have Fulani Janjaweed DNA inside you, we'll send you back to the Sahel. You go there and live with them. You people make me sick. They don't understand that they are making us stronger. You don't know. Go and look at the history of freedom fighting. You are making us stronger. Hitler killed 6 million Jews, thinking after killing them, somehow the Jews will bow and submit. Today, Israel has the best army in the whole world. That's how human life is. I want to let Dave Omahi understand something. Take your phone. Some of you have 3 or 4 phones. Take one of your phones. Tell that your phone, your mobile phone, you're holding in your right or left hand, I'm going to use you to injure my body. You see, this body you're going to suffer. Start to rub your phone on a particular spot at the back of your arm or anywhere of your body. Keep rubbing it. Every day, keep rubbing it. You know, previously your skin used to be very soft. But as time goes on, you will find out that that place you've been rubbing all the time, putting pressure all the time, has acquired some measure of hardness. That is human nature for you. And I want every Fulani Janjaweed to do this very, very simple experiment. Take any object, be rubbing it against your skin slowly. That's your skin that is very soft. After 3 or 4 days, you will notice that that part you've been rubbing all the time has developed a semblance of toughness. Even in nature, nature do not capitulate. What makes you think that we are going to capitulate? Impossible. Maybe your father is a permanent secretary, or maybe minister, or maybe commissioner, or maybe eating from Hope Uzodinma or Dave Omahi. Maybe they gave you a contract. All of you. Nobody is stopping you from enjoying whatever you're enjoying with government. But allow those fighting for their freedom to fight for their freedom. You have no right to intervene. Allow me to read. On the 31st, if you come outside, you will die. If you're a road transporter, if you're a transport worker or whatever, you know how people behave. They want to try. Who can tell me what to do? I'm going to drive. That day you will perish. On the 31st, you will perish. So that when you die and go to the world beyond, you will meet the likes of Ikonso, and they will even deal with her. They're dealing with that idiot at Ahiru right now. Do you understand me? The era of our idiocy has come and gone. All that, the era of the Funefu has finished in 2021. If you finish writing all your rubbish, on Monday you will sit at home. On Monday you'll be inside your house. Because there are places in our land where foolishness is in very high supply. Omaha is one of them. One of the most foolish places we have on this earth is Omaha, my so-called hometown. Very foolish people. That was the last headquarters of Biafra before Biafra fell. But they are very, very foolish. But on Monday, we're going to teach them a lesson on Monday. Let them come out again to go to Ban Market, to go and open shop. I want anybody, any chairman of any market that is opened, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra land, any market you open, you will hear from us.
You own businesses everywhere in Nigeria. For that reason, you want everybody to die. Nobody is above death. Death is going to visit everybody. Just have to pray that you live and make impact in this life. The impact that matters now, as far as Nigeria is concerned, is not the impact to make people millionaires. It is impact to make people to be alive. It is impact to make people to feel secure. It is impact to make people feel they are free. That is the biggest impact you can make. Millions are going to come. People will become millionaires when they are alive. Of what use is it? You make somebody millionaire today and tomorrow he died by gunshot from Fulani. Of what use will it be to the society? You pick up somebody and send him abroad and he come back to Nigeria and police will kill him. It is happening every day. Why do you want to continue to be part of a country like that? Why?
Heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth.
Because I can say that from what I have just listened from you, it is just not ordinary.
Very wonderful. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on today's program, wherever you are joining from. If you are joining us on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, whichever area you are joining us from, I welcome you and I thank you for being part of the program. Kindly like and share the program as you join. If they kick you out, find your way back, or you can come back later on your own time to watch. But do not miss this program. One of the most important things you have to do is to like the program and share. Our responsibility is to continue to evangelize, to continue to do outreach, to continue to speak, regardless the challenges, the attacks that is coming from right, left, and center. We will continue to speak and drop the message for those who care to listen, to pay attention. So wherever you are watching from, I welcome you this morning. And remember that in this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We are not here to preach hate. We are not here to attack people or to attack individuals. We are not here to attack any race or religion. What we do here is to present Biafra as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. That is what we are doing. Presenting Biafra to the world as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. Nigeria being a failed state is no longer something that is surprising. It's not something that people have not had before. It is not a new thing. Every one of us have seen it, have known it, except you're not paying attention to what is happening in Nigeria. Even if you're not a Nigerian, all you need to do is to log in into their news, pay attention to their conventional media, and you will come to the conclusion that what you have there is a failed state. And it is time for the international community to look into that very angle and do what is needful. And already, we thank Chukwu Okike that the United States of America is taking the lead in intervening in the situation in Nigeria. The United States of America is not silent. They are doing everything they can to see that information gets to where it needs to get to, that they correct what needs to be corrected, and also secure the indigenous people, more especially the Christians who are under threat as we speak. The Janjaweed in Nigeria are trying everything they can to see that they eliminate the Christians in Nigeria. There has been grievous attack against the Christians from all angles, from all corners. But in the midst of all this attack, we will continue to stand strong and we continue to speak and continue to focus. And by the grace of Chukwu Okike, we will never be defeated. More especially the Biafran people, we continue to stand our ground, continue to demand for our rights, and continue to speak. No amount of propaganda or blackmail will make us to stop. As long as we have our mouth, we are living, we have breath, we will continue to speak. So I urge every one of us, wherever you are, do your own part, play your own role. We all have that responsibility to speak. We all have the responsibility to make sure that the voice of the Biafran people is heard. So in which area you find yourself, make sure you are propagating the gospel of Biafra, and also present Biafra on a good light as a solution to the failed state, Nigeria. So I welcome everyone who has connected so far and those who are going to watch later on. Today we are going to discuss on a topic which says, Nigeria bleeds again. Nigeria bleeds again. Who profits from the unending killing, kidnapping, and terror in the contraption called Nigeria? Who profits? Who is profiting from the unending killings, kidnapping, and terror in the contraption called Nigeria? It is a question that is crying for answer. And we are going to try as much as we can on the program today to provide answers to some of these questions. And on today's program, it involves everybody. It does not matter whether you are a Biafran or non-Biafran. It does not matter whether you believe in agitation or not. It does not matter whether you are directly affected or not, living home or abroad. Today, the situation in the Zoological Republic concerns everybody. The situation in the contraption called Nigeria today concerns everybody. You cannot run away from it no matter how you try. You cannot shy away from it no matter how you try. The truth will remain the truth. The only thing that you can do is to accept the truth. And if you refuse to accept the truth, you are going to pay a very heavy price. You will pay a heavy price if you refuse to accept the truth. Our responsibility is to make sure that the truth prevails. We will make sure that the truth is spoken. We make sure that the truth is revealed. That is our responsibility. And we will continue to do our own part for as much as we can. Likewise, every one of us here, we have our own responsibility and role to play. Do your own part. Do your own part. That part that you know that is in your hand to do, do it. And let Chukwu Okukabeba take control. That is all we are asking. And as for us here, we are doing our part. As much as we can, we are trying our best to set the record straight. No matter how difficult it is, no matter their attack, no matter the propaganda and the blackmails that is coming from right, left, and center, we will continue to speak and we will continue to make the difference as much as we can. So wherever you are joining us this very morning, I appreciate you. I thank you for joining. And as you join, like and share. If they kick you out, try and find your way back, as I said before, because we must hold this program and we must continue, regardless the situation that we find ourselves presently. Once again, I say good morning, Biafrans. Good morning, those who claim to be the one Nigerians. Good morning, lovers of freedom all over the world. Today, we are discussing a very serious issue, an issue that affects every family, every community, every farmer, every trader, every student, every religious institution, every citizen living within the geographical space called Nigeria. Our topic this morning is the unending insecurity, terrorism, kidnapping, and banditry in Nigeria. Who will save the people? Who will save the people? Wherever you are watching from. This is not merely a political discussion. Keep your politics away in this very program today. Keep it aside. Let us be real. This is a discussion about human life. Our discussion is about reality. For those who doesn't know the seriousness of the situation of insecurity in Nigeria, pay attention to this program. You're going to learn a lot. This is a discussion about fathers who left home and never returned. This is a discussion about mothers who woke up every day not knowing whether their children will return safely from school. This is a discussion about communities that have been abandoned to fear. This is a discussion about a nation where many citizens now live under constant anxiety. For years, Nigerians have been promised security. For years, politicians have promised reform. For years, governments have promised victory over terrorism. For years, citizens have waited. Yet, insecurity continues. Kidnapping continues. Banditry continues. Mass killing continues. Communities continue to mourn. The question every reasonable person must ask is, what does this crisis continue to do? Why does this crisis continue despite security? Why do we still talk about insecurity in Nigeria despite billions of dollars invested in security? Why are innocent people still dying? Why are communities still being attacked? Why do many citizens feel abandoned? These are questions that deserve answers. My brothers and sisters, one of the primary responsibilities of any government anywhere in the world is the protection of lives and property. The primary objective of every government across the world, whether in Asia, in Europe, in America, the primary objective of any government is protection of life and property. Governments exist because people surrender certain powers to the state in exchange for security, law, and order. Without security, development becomes impossible. Without security, business collapses. Without security, agriculture suffers. Without security, investment disappears. Without security, people lose hope. Security is not a luxury. Security is a basic duty of the government. Today, many Nigerians believe that the state has failed in his responsibility. The entire nation, everyone, regardless their region, whether in the north, in the south, in the east, in the west, story of insecurity continues to dominate the headlines. Farmers fear going to their farms. Travelers fear highways. Villages fear nightmare attacks. Students fear abduction. Religious worshippers fear attack during service. Communities are living in fear. And fear is a terrible thing. Fear destroys confidence. Fear destroys productivity. Fear destroys national unity. Fear destroys hope. So when all these factors are present in the contraption called Nigeria, what do you call it? The most painful aspect of this crisis is that ordinary citizens often feel powerless in that contraption. They are attacked. They see attacks happen repeatedly. Ordinary citizens helplessly see attack happen repeatedly. They hear promises repeatedly. Yet they see little improvement. As a result, frustration is growing. Look at the people who were kidnapped in your state. Innocent children, teacher beheaded, still in captivity. And when you come to the social media, what do you see? When you look at their conventional media, what do you see? Excuses from the government. Politicizing the life of human beings, using the life of their citizens for politics. Some of them will come and make an argument to belittle the loss of life of people. Life means nothing in Nigeria anymore. So I wonder why some people still have the courage to call themselves Nigerians or begin to preach and propagate their so-called one Nigeria. It is sad. As a result of all that is happening in the Zoological Republic today, frustration is growing. Anger is growing. Distrust is growing. Many people now ask, who is truly protecting the people? Who speaks for the victims? Who speaks for those whose loved ones have been kidnapped? Who speaks for widows? Who speaks for orphans? Who speaks for displaced communities? These are the political questions These are humanitarian questions. Every life matters. Every victim matters. Every community matters. Wherever you are watching this program from, we must not and must never normalize insecurity. No sensible entity or government will normalize insecurity. But in the case of Nigeria, insecurity has been normalized. Insecurity has been normalized. The government that the people have given the power and authority to defend and protect them are not doing it. Instead, they come out with excuses. Today, what we are hearing is creation of different security outfits right, left, and center. Advocating of creation of security outfits, and this is what we pursued, the Biafran people pursued, took a step of creating a security outfit to guide and protect themselves. And because of that, we attacked terrorists. Mazin Landekan was condemned and attacked terrorists. Mazin Simon Ekpa was condemned and called terrorists. Because they formed an outfit to protect the same thing that they are preaching every day on different media. You go to their conventional media, you see people advising people to protect themselves, organize themselves, defend themselves, because Nigeria has failed. A failed state and cannot protect its citizens. For us, Biafran, we have known for a long time there is no nation called Nigeria. And for that, there's nobody that will be ready to put his or her life on the line to protect something that doesn't exist. But unfortunately, those who still believe that they have hope in it today, they are disappointed. Crying right, left, and center. And they are the most affected because they gave their rights and their freedom up for a government that does not exist. We must never normalize insecurity. We must never become comfortable with tragedy. But in Nigeria, that is the order of the day. Nigeria has become comfortable with tragedy. When there is loss of life, they will tell you, today is 15. They say, now it's only 15. They will not say that's only. That was why the idiot in Abuja was saying that people were kidnapped in Abuja and there was no protest. Why do you have to protest about people who were kidnapped in Oyo? Making comparison with terrorism and loss of life to justify his foolishness. That is how low the idiots that you call politicians in Nigeria can go. That Hitler in Abuja made that comment, comparing terrorism and politicizing it for his own benefit. And this is an idiot who his children are not in Nigeria. It is sad, but we're going to end it. We must never accept violence as a permanent future of society. But somehow, Nigeria has accepted it. The government promotes it and the government supports it directly and indirectly through their action and inaction. So when we accuse them of supporting terrorism, we have fact and evidence. By their actions and inactions, they are supporting, aiding and abetting terrorism. A nation cannot progress when insecurity becomes normal. A nation cannot prosper when fear becomes the daily reality of millions. The world has witnessed humanitarian crises in many places. History teaches us that whenever human suffering reaches dangerous level, the international community often pay attention. But I don't know why the case of Biafra is different. Why is the case of Biafra very different? Why is the case of the Zoological Republic very different? But history teaches us that whenever human suffering reaches dangerous level, the international community often pay attention. Does it mean that Nigeria has not reached a dangerous level? In as much as I appreciate the United States for weighing in, for speaking at least, but their speed is so slow. I wish they can increase their speed and do better. This is why many Nigerians and advocates groups have called for increased international awareness regarding the humanitarian consequences of insecurity. This is why we come online every day to talk and speak, so that international community attention be drawn to Nigeria. How many people more need to die before they will pay attention? I can't understand this. How many people more need to die before the international community will pay attention to the situation in the contraption called Nigeria? How many people more do they need to die before they will know to do the right thing? Why are they always late? Why are they always late? In Rwanda, they came late. In Southern Sudan, they came late. In Kosovo, they came late. During the Holocaust, they came late. Why are they always late? Why would they wait for millions to die before they intervene? People want the world to know what communities are experiencing. That is why we are shouting every day on various platforms and speaking. And why we are trying to pass the message, they are trying to hold us back, trying to shadow ban us, trying to attack us on different ways. People want victims to be heard. People want accountability. People want justice. People want peace. The Biafran people, more especially, we want to be heard. We need people to be held accountable for the atrocities in Biafra land. We need justice for the Biafran people, for our leaders, Maazin Nanjoku Kanu and Maazin Samuel Ekwenjo. And we need peace. Many have also called upon international partners, including the United States and other democratic nations. We have been calling on them, shouting, referring. Many people have been making moves to get close, to support humanitarian assistance, intelligence operations, anti-terror effort, conflict prevention initiatives and programs that protect vulnerable communities. The United States need to do more. Enough of the rhetorics. It is time for action to save life. I don't know how many people more need to die before a proper action will be taken. It is sad. International attention can help shine a light on suffering. International engagement can encourage accountability. International cooperation can support efforts to combat terrorism and organized crime. However, lasting solution must ultimately come from effective governance, strong institutions, justice, and respect for human life. And there comes the self-determination. Lasting solution should be the ultimate goal, not just the dressing of the wound. Killing one terrorist or the other and tomorrow they come back again will not solve the problem. We need permanent solution. And theirs is where the Biafran people come in. The Biafran question is for a permanent solution to the insecurity in the Sahel region. That is where the Biafran question comes in. Allow people to defend themselves in their region. Create country along value system and watch to see development come. Let those who want the caliphate build their caliphate in the north. Those in the middle belt should be allowed to operate what they want. The southwest that we know that like the monarchical system should go ahead with it and allow the Biafrans, the Republicans, to pursue their life the way they want it to be. That is the lasting solution that is required. Not just dressing it and tomorrow is a lasting solution. No foreign nation can have Nigeria more than Nigerians themselves. No foreign nation can do this job except you are serious. Mostly those who call themselves the one Nigerians. No foreign government can build Nigeria for Nigerians. No foreign institution can replace the responsibility of local leadership. It does not exist. The future of the people in that contraption called Nigeria depends largely on the willingness of leaders and citizens alike to confront these challenges honestly. Honest confrontation. As it stands today, the only people that are honestly speaking about the solution to Nigeria is the Biafran people. Take it to the bank. Only Biafrans are the ones pursuing the honest solution to the problem in the contraption called Nigeria. We are the only ones who are stepping up to see things the way they are, that we are not one people, and we need to go our separate ways. Countries are created among people that have the same value system. Each country that progresses in this world is based on one value system, is what they have. Not like what you have in Nigeria. And we must continue to say it and say it loud. Already, many people are coming on board. Many people who never believed in the past, they are now believing. And I bet you, we are not stopping until we are free. Let's focus. Let us discuss citizen and community safety. Every citizen has the right to seek lawful protection. Every community has the right to recognize lawful neighborhood vigilance structure. We are permitted by law. Nigerian government have failed automatically, and people are left to protect themselves. The duty you have is to try as much as possible to defend and protect yourself by yourself. Self-defense. Even though we have been on this before ever they begin to wake up. Continue on self-defense. It is not a crime when you defend yourself. Nigeria make it look like a crime. It is not. Defend yourself. Whenever your life is threatened, defend yourself. We are in a situation where the government is no longer existing. Every community has the right to demand accountability from public officials. Every citizen has the right to insist on security and justice. But this effort must remain within the boundaries of the law, just like we have always done. Because violence creates more violence. Lawlessness creates more lawlessness. The objectives must always be protection of innocent lives and the strengthening of lawful institutions. That is what we have always stood for and continue to stand for. Don't misunderstand us. You do because your heart is dark. because you are not sincere. Our objective is peace. Our objective is justice. Our objective is security. Our objective is human dignity. This conversation is not about politics alone. It is about human being. It is about human being. What we are discussing now is about human being, life of human being. Behind every statistics is a face. Behind every headline is a family. Behind every tragedy is a story. A mother crying, a father grieving, a child waiting, a community mourning. These are real people, real lives, real suffering. That is why this issue must never be reduced to political argument. But of course, we know what the zoo is made up of. Very insincere people and those who even preach what they do not believe in. Human life must come first in everything. Human life must come first, not cows. But in Nigeria, you see there are people that put cow first before a human life. That is why we can never, ever, ever agree or be in the same place with them. The safety of citizens must come first. The protection of community must come first. As we conclude this broadcast, I want every viewer to reflect on the simple question: what kind of country do we want to leave behind for the future generation? Do you want a nation ruled by fear? Or do you want a nation governed by justice, security, accountability, and respect for human life? The answer should be obvious. No citizen should live in fear. No community should be abandoned. No victim should be forgotten. No life should be threatened or treated as worthless. To the family who have lost loved ones, we remember them. To those who continue to suffer, we hear them equally. To those seeking justice, we stand with principle that every victim deserves justice. Mazen Nandekano deserves justice. Mazen Samanapa deserves justice. To those in position of authority, history will judge every decision you are making today. History will judge every single decision every one of you is making today. The time for excuses is over. The time for action is now. The time for accountability is now. The time for protection, for protecting lives, is now. The time for accountability is now. Wherever you are joining us from today, broadcast, please share this broadcast. Leave your thoughts on the comment section. Subscribe if you have not done so. We are going to go back to play some certain videos to support every single thing we say today. For a very long time, we have been accused falsely, attacked falsely. Even as we speak, the attack is still ongoing. The inhuman treatment is going on. What crime have we committed? Nothing. The British have put a double standard that has continued to haunt every indigenous person, more especially the Biafran people, the Igbos. That is why we are not stopping. No matter what the enemies are saying, we will never stop. Our Supreme Mazen Nandekano have preached this message for a long time. He talked and talked and talked. Instead of listening to him, they called him names and blackmailing. But to the glory of God, today, many people are confessing. Many who never believed that Mazen Nandekano was right. They are playing his, including people from Yoruba land. They play his video and they concur with what he said. The warning he gave them about taking over of their land is now happening. I saw a video that was posted by a man, and he confessed that he never liked Mazen Nandekano for once, but that now he goes back to listen to the messages of Mazen Nandekano, and he found out that Mazen Nandekano deserves an apology from every indigenous person in that Nigeria. They need to apologize to Mazen Nandekano. That was why when you see people bringing him, when they see they brought his messages in the court to prosecute him, they choose the part. They cut short messages and choose the part where he was responding to what was happening at that very moment. And they use him to blackmail him. And some idiots could not go back to look at the full messages he delivered. You can never understand the message properly until you go to the full minute. Not got a script of 1 minute. You go to a program of 4 hours, you take only 1 minute and base your argument on 1 minute, and you want to sentence somebody on 1 minute and condemn on 1 minute. You should be mad. You are mad then. But I can't come out today. People are confessing and referring to the mistakes they have done, and they wish it can be corrected. I want to play this video. I want you to pay attention to this video that's about to play today. Pay attention.
Listen to this.
Some of you do not understand what the Fulanis have in store for you. Very, very soon it is going to happen. And when it happens, your eyes will clear. And about whom you will see it very clearly. I was warning you. It is the spillover of their same, should I say, terror effects that we are feeling right across the South. That was why we said with the launch of ESN that we cannot allow that nonsense to continue. They know they are not going to make any headway in the East. They have turned their attention to the West. They are forcibly occupying their land and telling them that they cannot do anything about it. A whole presidency in a country openly and brazenly supporting terrorists. All of you watching and listening all over the world, you know that Miyetti Allah is a terrorist organization. You know that. They have killed. They have said that Benue State is theirs for the taking as a spoil of war. All of you are aware of it. You know what they are doing. Anywhere you have Fulani headsmen, terrorists for that matter, they tell you, oh, they are pastoralists. They are allowed to do their businesses in the forest. All of you are aware of it. But you kept quiet, hoping that somehow Tinubu will emerge as the president, or an Igbo man will come as the president, and your family will start enjoying. But in the meantime, you have no more farmlands, you have no more forests, you have nowhere you can call your own home. The same stupidity exhibited by Hausa peasants that enabled Fulani to take Sokoto from them. That enabled Fulani
Let me pause it here. You see, I like, if I'm wrong, I am the first to come out to say I'm wrong. I'm telling you. You see this guy here, Mazen Nandekano. I never supported IPOP. I'll be honest with you. I never did. I thought they were too aggressive, you know. I didn't believe in their cause. But now, I'm looking at all his videos. It looks as if this man saw the future. I'm telling you the truth. Everything he said in the past is happening now in our very before in Nigeria. I'm telling you, this man saw the future. And you know the one where they bust my head? Sunday Igbo, that probably did worse than him, is a chief in Yoruba land today. Militants, this Fulani militant that is causing mayhem in Nigeria today, they are repentant and they are in Nigerian military as repentant militants. Guess what? This gentleman is still in prison in Nigeria under Jagaban government. Is it fair? It's not fair. It's wrong. This guy actually saw the future. I feel bad that I did not even listen to him or believe him. I feel bad. And he should not be in prison. It's wrong. If there's any atom of fairness in this country called Nigeria, Nnamdi Kanu should be a free man. If you guys don't want to host him in your country, then let him go back to his family in London. Azotokan. And as again, I have to accept for the first time in my life that Nigeria is actually a zone. Namazi Nnamdi Kanu Tokan. If you release him to go home to his family, it's unfair. Fair is fair.
That is it. People are beginning to concur. You know, when Mazen Nandekano was preaching this message, many called him they called him a tribal bigot. They called him different kinds of names, insulted him. But you see, many people are confessing today, seeing everything he has said in the past coming to pass. This man that is speaking is a Yoruba man, making this confession. calling for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, acknowledging that what he has been saying all this while, we are just exactly what is going on today, like a prophecy. But nobody was paying attention. People are realizing, but the funny aspect of it that while other people, other tribes are realizing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was actually the right person, he was saying the right thing. Today, the same people who work with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are the ones today who are now going against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to tarnish his image. And you think he will survive it. Those of you who your envy and jealousy has consumed you that you can no longer use your common sense. It is a pity. Your end is going to be terrible. Look at it. A Yoruba man confessing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, he never liked him. He never believed in his cause. He never even cared to listen to his messages. But now, and this is the importance of us being online. When I come online every day, I play the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, play the message of Mazi Simon Ekpa, so that people who did not see these messages will see it and understand. Because people are fond of taking the part that they want. They will go and cut out a part where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu responded to a particular issue at that particular point in time, or where he was making a reference. The same thing to Mazi Simon Ekpa. They quote him out of proportion, quote Mazi Nnamdi out of proportion, and paint them evil. Today, the truth is coming out. Every single thing they asked for, they fought for, they talked about is happening just the way he said it. Look at the taking over of Yoruba land today. But when he was preaching it and telling them, they thought they took it for insult. He was telling them that the python you are training is going to swallow you. They will take over your land. And he gave example of that. And today, Kwara State is gone, Oyo is almost gone. You brought your Tinubu thinking that maybe it doesn't matter who becomes the president of Nigeria. If you make people be president today, Nigeria will become more terrorized than ever. More especially Biafra. Biafra will become a homeland for the Fulanis. That is why we can never be part of that nonsense. Make people be a president today, Biafra land will become ungovernable. The Fulanis will take over everywhere. And when we say it, people don't understand. More especially for the Igbos, we are not part of Nigeria. We have never been. We have never been accepted into Nigeria. Even before the independence, we were never part of them. They have been killing us since 1945 till date. And they put on a standard that removes us from their midst. And you want us to continue to pretend all is well. No, we will not. Enough is enough, and we are going home. And no human being will stop us. I want us to listen to this other video also of this pastor.
There will be artillery and fireworks. They will be killing them like anything. Whenever a few Igbo boys have gotten angry and acted or reacted, they send Air Force, Navy, and military to go and stop them. They take armored tanks to the east. But we see Fulani boys stand and speak on the internet. They say anything, do anything, and nothing moves. Instructions are given for nobody to move. Well, Nigeria belongs to all of us. God put us here. I have watched what is going on around our country with pain. At the age of 63, I believe I have become a mother in this nation and can speak to this nation. I have never spoken to our present president, but I will speak to you today, sir. The government is failing us. I look at what is going on in Jos, what is going on in Benue, what is going on in Kwara, what is going on all over the country, and I'm worried. I am pained. There is a dichotomy I see. Two standards I see. I see one standard for the north and another standard for the south. Whenever
it's been there.
A few Igbo boys have gotten angry and acted or reacted, they send Air Force, navy, and military to go and stop them. They take armored tanks to the east. But we see Fulani boys stand and speak on the internet. They say anything, do anything, and nothing moves.
Nothing moves.
Instructions are given for nobody to move. Well, Nigeria belongs to all of us.
I don't think so.
God put us here. No man put us here. Christians and Muslims. My mother told me before she passed that these things we are agitating for, they have been agitating for them since they were children, and nothing changed. This platform, God has given it to me for a purpose, to speak for the helpless. Sir, why are the same soldiers and Air Force not hovering over Jos? Why are they not hovering over Kwara? Why are they not hovering over Southern Kaduna? Land have been taken. People have been removed from their land and nothing happens. If it were Igbos, there will be artillery and fireworks. They will be killing them like anything. Now, I'm not saying what they do is right because I actually don't know all the details.
How will
but what
you
these
know?
people are doing too is not
No
right.
problem. You will not know.
I don't know what the agenda
You are in
is.
Nigeria. We can
I don't know what the plan
understand
is, sir.
Go ahead.
But Jesus Christ is building his church. And no force on earth will stop us. You can kill us, you can take over our lands and all, but we will always be in this Nigeria. So the time has come, especially in this Easter period, to remind all Nigerians that Nigeria belongs to all of us. And let there be justice. What you do in the south, do in the north. What you do in the north, do in the south. But this Nigeria will stand. The church of Jesus Christ will stand, and the gate of hell will not.
It is unfortunate that most times you think that these people don't
Instructions
know what
are given.
They know what is happening. Every one of them know what is going on, but they have refused to do the needful. You see the woman narrating the system. This is what the problem of Nigeria is, systemic problem. And until you address this very problem, you will never have peace. You will never have security. You will never have progress. You will never have good economy. Until you address this problem that this woman mentioned, double standard. And the only way to address that double standard is to remove this very foundation that was laid by the British. But there are people who call themselves politicians who are bent on protecting and defending the status quo that puts some people below others, makes some people untouchable, makes some people superior than others. Why they are in Biafra land, attacking the Biafran people, attacking our liberation army, fighting people that are defending their own land, people who are defending themselves from the terrorists. Why they are busy doing that? In the northern part of Nigeria, helicopters is coming down, supplying ammunition to them, taking mineral resources out of the country without any intervention from anywhere. And I want you to watch the video for you to see what is happening in the northern part of Nigeria. What you're watching is helicopter in the middle of the forest in another part of Nigeria. They come to cut away illegal mineral resources have been mined. All those mineral resources that have been mined. Look at it in the thick forest. That's Turkish airline. That's Turkish. Came on the ground. Nobody will see it. Nobody will do it. Where they have their development clients. And why are they focused on Biafra? Because of the idiots we have who call themselves politicians. It is these idiots that call themselves politicians that go and invite them. They go and tell them to come. And they come and take innocent life. Because of their own personal gain, personal ego. Because they just want to feel relevant, they invite the enemies to come and take over the land. In Biafra land, the most peaceful part of that land has been made insecure by the politicians and the government of Nigeria. Meanwhile, look at northern part of Nigeria. Many illegal activities are going on daily basis. Illegal activities that is costing the country billions. Nobody seems to talk about it. Nobody reports it. Nobody sees it. But I bet you, this is one of the reasons why they are paying the price they are paying today. The entire North today is under the hand control of the terrorists. The entire North is under the control of the terrorists. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't change it. You can't wish it off. If you like, cry from today to tomorrow, you can't change it. Instead of them to fight this, they are busy changing narratives. They are busy demonizing the Biafran. They are busy changing the real story of the Civil War. They are busy trying so hard to paint the Biafrans as the aggressors. Meanwhile, their country has been taken over. The country is in the hand of the terrorists. But what concerns them is trying to push a narrative that we are the aggressors, the Biafrans. Gowon, who has been alive. Gowon, who has been alive. All the time, our eternal leader has been here speaking to the press about what transpired. From the Civil War to the Aburi discussion and all. He never said a word. Only to continue now to begin to change narrative. Working with the same British that truncated that very Aburi Accord. And they have come to give us a documentary of their so-called Biafran war. And you see how they skip and cut and join. At the end of the day, their aim is to paint us as people who started the war. That is what they did in that film. They painted the Biafrans as the aggressors, that we are the one that fired the first shot, which is a lie from the pit of hell. But in that their documentary, that is what they projected. They projected another fact again, that we are the one that divided the old Southeastern region. Using a woman from the Southeastern region saying that the Biafran soldiers burned their houses and that's why she joined Nigeria. All these thing was done intentionally to paint us bad before the whole world. Why the terrorists is taking over the North? It is a shame. And I bet you, just like Mazen Nandekano said, for everything Biafran has suffered, they are going to suffer it in tenfold. For every role you play in the genocide in Biafran land, you will pay. If you don't pay in days, you pay in months. If you don't pay in months, you pay in years, you pay in decades. If you don't pay in decades, you pay in a generation. You will pay, definitely. And many are paying their own today. You can't escape it. For avoidance of doubt, let us listen to our eternal leader, Dim Odimogojuku, what he has to say about the cause of the 1966 coup. Let us hear the account of our eternal leader, Dim Odimogojuku, live when he spoke about what transpired. I thank Chukwu Okeme for these information that are there on video. So this madman called Gowon can never change narrative. No matter how he try, he can't change it. Let's watch this and hear what our eternal leader had to say.
Who carried out the coup and for what reasons? I thank you for giving me this opportunity to try and enlighten people on this coup that seems to be at the center of subsequent problems in Nigeria. The coup of January 15th, 1966 was actually led by Major Ifajuna, and he commanded the activities in the south, and Zogo, another major, coordinated the northern side of it from Kaduna. The reason for the coup, if you remember, Nigeria became independent in
I want you to
1960.
pay attention to the reason for the coup.
We had a government, a quasi-Westminster type government with a parliament and a ceremonial president, reflecting, as it were, the Queen of Great Britain. That was Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, and Tafawa Balewa was the president from the north. Now, the real problem with Nigeria has always been the imbalance of the federation that is and was known as Nigeria. I remember when I was at school, I was taught that the great thing about a federation was that no federating unit should ever be preponderant over the others. As it happened, the Nigerian Federation, when it was created, was given down to Nigerians from London. And that federation contained the imbalance of the North being preponderant, in fact, over the two other sides, the West and the East. And this created, right from the first day, a certain degree of friction. The North could dictate, and the South, whichever part of the South, could just complain if it's not in accord with what the North wished. The first few years of independence were not too bad, but there were a lot of unfulfilled ambitions of the Nigerians, because in those days we thought that once you got independence, you were free and everything worked, and you joined the higher league of nations internationally, discussing what went on. In fact, to Nigerians it looked as though, and indeed they tended to show, that independence in itself was the achievement. Now Nigeria was free, us were a member of the world. Instead of looking upon it as the beginning of our journey to nationhood. And I say this, and I want to underscore it. Nigeria was not, has never been a nation. We had the aspiration, hopes that Nigeria one day would become a nation.
That's right.
And that has been elusive up till today. The reason being that, most unfortunately, the powers in Nigeria were concentrated in the hands of the North, which was preponderant, and wrongly so. At independence, we hoped we would be able, in fact, the three leaders of the country had different notions of independence. There was the actual leader of the struggle for independence, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, who rightly thought that independence now created, as it were, a beginning, but that we were already a nation and we were now finding our positions in his own philosophical, political beliefs in Pan-Africanism. So we just had to move into the broad continental alliance. The North, under the Sultanate of Sokoto, whose agent was the Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa, felt that the Nigerian nation one had to tread very slowly, because he saw and they saw a great deal of inequities in Nigeria, And perhaps the most important then was the level of education between the North and the South. And therefore that affected, of course, the position of the North or Northerners in the bureaucracy of Nigeria. The Sadana and the people of the North got down to trying to build up the North, taking everything they could from the Federation to build up the North to a position in their minds of equality between themselves intellectually and the rest of Nigeria. The West under Chief Obafemi Awolowo thought likewise and took the position of consolidating the West so as to ensure that at a given time the West would then emerge superior to either the North or the East. Again, let me go back to the problem of the East. The East entered independence having accepted that the nation was already there. Naturally, the concept of nationhood implied a great deal of sacrifice by the East at all points. First sacrifice, the non-emergence of Dr. Azikiwe as the first executive leader of Nigeria. He vacated the place. He made the sacrifice so that the North could be accommodated. Second, very simple. During the constitutional conferences, independence was offered Nigeria before 1960. But to be able to accommodate the North, that Dr. Azikiwe believed was already part of a nation, we got this rather odd situation where a nationalist refused independence to wait for the North, and so on. Yet, your question, sir, was the question of the reason for the coup. So let me go into it. The teething problems of Nigeria after 1960, the independence, manifested itself in a number of ways. There was a friction over the preponderance of the North. There was certain difficulties about religious beliefs in the country. There was corruption, bad administration, and so on. But the real problem came from the West, which by 1966 was really in turmoil. And the reason was quite a simple one. Where does a leader lead from? In the North, the Sadana led from Kaduna in the North. His agent was in the South, Prime Minister. Awolowo for the West believed his position was better and he would be have greater effect on Nigeria if he ruled from the Federation. So he looked towards Lagos. And his deputy, Akintola, he was quite prepared to leave the West too. What a funny thing happened during the election. A funny thing happened. Dr. Azikiwe, who also opted for the Federation, won the election in the West. And it now looked as though an Igbo man was ruling in the East, ruling in the Midwest, and about to rule in the West. And this was not acceptable to the West. We started our problems there because overnight the victory of the MCNC in the West was nullified by a number of Yorubas crossing from the government to the opposition side and creating a new government. And this actually is at the foundation of the distrust between the Igbos still now and the Yorubas. Now, law and order broke down in the West after the second election. There was so much rigging. In fact, BBC had this rather wonderful statement. It said that men became pregnant overnight with votes. Because, you know, we wear these huge robes and you can stuff as many ballot papers inside them. And as a result of that, and because by then Awolowo was in jail for treasonable felony, it was felt that the North used its powers to ensure that Akintola, who became their stooge, won the election. It became very dangerous to travel around the streets of Lagos or the...
When you look at what our eternal leader is explaining, you will see that this their idea of getting a stooge from every region didn't start today. The distrust in Nigeria didn't start today. And I bet you no region can ever trust each other. And this is why we arrive at the fact that countries are built based on value system. Nigeria has never been a nation before independence and after independence, till date, as we are speaking. When you look at the explanation of our eternal leader here, everything he's saying, I want you to pay close attention to what really caused the war, as he is explaining. The distrust, the manipulation. The only way to solve this issue is disintegration to your to Israel, because everything he is saying here is still happening today before you and I. After so many years, we are in 2026. The same thing, the same rigging, the same seeking for stooge to manipulate things is still what is happening. And it will never stop. It will even get worse.
And the reason was quite a simple one. Where does a leader lead from? In the north, the Sadana led from Kaduna, in the north. His agent was in the south, Prime Minister. Awolowo for the West believed his position was better and he would be have greater effect on Nigeria if he ruled from the Federation. So he looked towards Lagos. And his deputy, Akintola, he was quite prepared to leave the West too. What a funny thing happened during the election. A funny thing happened. Dr. Azikiwe, who also opted for the Federation, won the election in the West. And it now looked as though an Igbo man was ruling in the East, ruling in the Midwest, and about to rule in the West. And he commanded the activities in the South.
Places was not as a result of manipulation.
Westminster-type government.
Their ruling in those places they were ruling was not as a result of manipulation. It is as a result of election that was conducted A credible election was conducted and they were able to take their positions. Till tomorrow, every single position an Igbo man have attained was something they have worked hard for. Every single position Igbos have attained in Nigeria was attained through hard work. Through hard work. And that has become the envy of every other region. When you see them getting angry, calling Igbos names, you begin to wonder, what have we done to these people? What crime has an Igbo man committed? Nothing. Nothing. Even Ahmadu Bello made it clear that when you put us in a labor camp, we emerge as a hero. How is that a problem? Because we don't agree to stay down. We work hard to come up. They never say that we are terrorists. We never go and attack people. We never go to take over anybody's land. Up to this moment, everything we get in where we live, we get it genuinely. We buy our properties, we buy land, we invest normally. How is that a problem? This problem, I want you to pay attention. That is why I'm taking it back. Listen carefully to every single statement that our eternal leader, our eternal leader, his English is very clean and clear. Even if you don't understand, you pay attention to it, you will understand every single detail when he's explaining. So pay attention to our eternal leader.
An Igbo man was ruling in the East, ruling in the Midwest, and about to rule in the West. And this was not acceptable to the West. We started our problems there because overnight the victory of the NCNC in the West was nullified by a number of Yorubas crossing from the government to the opposition side and creating a new government. And this actually is at the foundation of the distrust between the Igbos still now and the Yorubas. Now, law and order broke down in the West after the second election. There was so much rigging. In fact, BBC had this rather wonderful statement. It said that men became pregnant overnight with votes. Because, where there's huge robes and you can stuff as many ballot papers inside them. And as a result of that, and because by then Awolowo was in jail for treasonable felony, it was felt that the North used its powers to ensure that Akintola, who became their stooge, won the election.
You're not have been looking for stooge.
It became very dangerous to travel around the streets of Lagos or the West, anywhere. That's when they started throwing acid at people in the streets in Yoka, the phenomenon known as wet year. That is wet in wet year. Throwing acid on people. And it was to halt this, actually, that the military was pulled out of barracks to help stabilize the situation. And this went on. We were not moving anywhere. The countries were becoming independent. We were seeing Julius Nyerere creating personality in Africa, Nkrumah there, and so on. Nigeria is big, and with all the promise of independence, was clearly doing nothing. It was then that a group of young officers. Now let's get it straight.
That's the reason.
The young officers had within Igbos, Yorubas, and Hausas.
Yes, the young officer.
The way the Nigerian army was structured,
listen,
you could not escape a preponderance of Igbo officers. And these were at the middle level because they were essentially majors. By then I was a lieutenant colonel, so I wasn't part of it. I was then commanding a battalion in Kano. The coup ostensibly, because I've later found out that the whole aim of the coup was to halt this apparent drift in Nigeria. But significantly, you know what they wanted to do? To create a presidential commission of army officers as a safeguard to the people who would guard the nation and hand over government to Chief Obafemi Awolowo.
In 1966 coup. Who carried out the coup?
Did you hear that from our eternal leader? Did you hear that? Every single thing that was done, the beneficiary is Awolowo. And this is what, because of this explanation, that's why we say that thing wasn't even a coup. It was a revolution by young officers. And you hear him mention there were Hausa, Yoruba, Igbos. And because of the way the military was structured in that time, there's no way you cannot get majority of Igbos in it. I see these informations are in the public, but even up to today, BBC just yesterday did their program and they omitted the important foundation of any discussion you can discuss to go to the civil war. They didn't talk about it. They started by painting the civil war against the Igbos. That was how that very documentary was started, making us the victim. I don't know why they are fighting so hard to make people believe that we are the troublemaker. Pay attention to the explanation of our eternal leader. Very, very clear. I will take it a little bit back. Let's pay attention to this. It is very, very clear and detailed. Because some of us who have not been able to pay attention to these things, when you are listening to documentaries, pay attention to every detail. But if possible, take your pen and paper and be jotting out information. Our eternal leader, Tim Odumegojuku, is an expert in communication. When he communicates with you, if you never understand, you will never understand anything on this earth. If you do not understand the communication of our eternal leader, Tim Odumegojuku, you will never, ever understand anything. His English is very clear and sound. He doesn't need to speak like a British, doesn't need to speak like a Kong Igbo person, or he doesn't need to speak like an American. Very clean and plain English that even a layman that pays attention will understand. So let's pay attention. I take it a little bit back again and let's listen.
Known as wet here. That is wet in wet here. Throwing acid on people. And it was to halt this, actually, that the military was pulled out of barracks to help stabilize the situation. And this went on. We were not moving anywhere. The countries were becoming independent. We were seeing Julius Nyerere creating personality in Africa, Nkrumah there, and so on. Nigeria is big, and with all the promise of independence, was clearly doing nothing. It was then that a group of young officers. Now let's get it straight. The young officers had within Igbos, Yorubas, and Hausas. The way the Nigerian army was structured, you could not escape a preponderance of Igbo officers. And these were at the middle level because they were essentially majors. By then I was a lieutenant colonel, so I wasn't part of it. I was then commanding a battalion in Kano. The coup ostensibly, because I've later found out that the whole aim of the coup was to halt this apparent drift in Nigeria. But significantly, you know what they wanted to do? To create a presidential commission of army officers as a safeguard to the people who would guard the nation and hand over government to Chief Obafemi Awolowo.
Did you hear that? The explanation was very clear. Their mission was very clear. It was not to create a Biafra. It was not to create an Igbo nation. It was not to separate Nigeria. As at then, it was a revolution to create a stable environment where people can strive regardless of their region, regardless of their race, regardless of their religion. Because already what is happening, what the Fulanis are doing today, they started it from day one. That thing, that Ottoman Danfodio assignment started from day one. Even before independence, they are still on that project of Ottoman Danfodio. The same project today that have blown out of proportion today that you're seeing insecurity everywhere. Today, they have become more bold than ever. They have been able to manipulate themselves today and they are pushing forward. Some of them will tell you that Aguirre put the unitary system, like one of the idiots say that it is the unitary system. You don't want the unitary system. Then why did you continue? After Aguirre have left, what did you do? Which system did you put in place? Which system did you put in place? After you murdered Aguirre in cold blood, what correction did you make? Since you said it was his fault because of the unitary system introduced. All these things, videos I'm playing, confirm the fact that Nigeria, the zoological republic called Nigeria, is irredeemable. There is no way, there is nothing you can do to redeem the zoological republic. And the earlier every one of us understand this, the better for all of us. The contraption called Nigeria is irredeemable. There is nothing you can do to redeem it. You can continue to shout, cry, and talk. It will never be redeemed. And that is why everybody must have to sit up. That is why we are calling for the disintegration of the zoological republic, because that is the only solution. Disintegration. We are not the only ones saying it. And if you don't know the reason we call for this, I want you to listen to this video. I played it yesterday. I will play it again, so that let it not be it's only Biafran speaking. Listen to this video.
Many things going wrong in this country that people don't know about. There are some of us, even when we go abroad. I remember in 1989, I entered the office of my professor, my dean, Professor Weniger, I think he's late now, in Western Germany. I entered his library and I picked a book and was just going through. And he came in and screamed, don't touch it, don't touch it. What is the problem? He says it's not meant for third world countries. Those books are not meant for even Poland, not meant for East Europe. Because there are secrets there. But I was able to see a few things before they took the books from me. One, that the exchange rate of a nation is artificially fixed. Because they are on political economy. Two, that no nation will ever be developed unless they have a homogeneity in one aspect of their life. The same tribe, the same religion, the same ethos, like US, which was freedom. But US is going to crash. The freedom has been taken too far. So freedom is what will kill US. Take note of that. Maybe dead, but you know that it's a fallen nation. No country, in those books they wrote, no country will ever develop unless they belong to the same tribe or race.
So that means there's no hope for Nigeria.
Oh, yes, no hope. There's no. Let me just put it this way. If I live too long, maybe I die at the age of 95, which is just about 30 years time. But definitely, if I get there, it will be a miracle. But let somebody note it down so that you tell somebody after me, Nigeria will never, I'm sorry, develop unless there's an authoritarian regime that tie our neck together, force us to do what they want for at least a minimum of 25 years, like it was done in China. After then, you cannot begin to release freedom little by little. Otherwise, Nigeria is a country that is being, there's a tug of war where some people will hold each other that way, some people hold each other this way, then you start pulling at the center. In Nigeria, what we have is multiple pullings, multiple tugs of war, one there, one here, one here, one here, one here, dragging the center. It can never develop. Because our budgetary system is, oh, you are giving 10 roads to Edo, 10 roads to Lagos, you must give 10 roads to Bauchi, 10 roads to Gobe, 10 roads that they don't need. I was a bank manager in the 90s. When I came back from Germany, I was posted to Bauchi. You have roads tarred that only sheep sleep on them at night. And then you have donkeys on them, no motor. And they are all everywhere. Now, look at Lagos, the port that supplies the north. No rail. Because if you say let's put rail, the northern senators and others will insist, no way. You must put the same thing in a place that is not productive. Like the rail line Buhari built to Niger Republic. It's dead, it's big. And we borrow $1.9 billion to build it. We are paying China now. And it's not doing anything for Nigeria. If they have put it on the port, this our roads would have been saved. Roads would have lasted longer. Life would have been. Then the cost of spare parts. Again, the cost of spare parts, the things we use in maintaining a vehicle because of borrow, is higher than the total sale of Nigeria crude oil. Quote me. I may not be a professor of economics, but that.
Did you hear that? Did you hear this video? I will continue to play this video I will add it in my intro, this very video. This will go as one of the collections in my intro. Because these were the messages that Mazi Nnamdi Okukano preached. And we played with it. We call it a propaganda. We call it, some of us talked down on it. This was one of the messages that our eternal leader preached. They looked down on it. This is the message we preach. Every time when we talk about disintegration of that, it is not out of hate. It is not out of wickedness. It is not because we want to dominate. It is not because we don't want to be there. But no nation can grow without a single value system. The kind of diversity you have in Nigeria is a destructive one. In a place where people don't have any common value system together, we don't have the same religion, we don't eat the same food, we don't speak the same language, we don't behave alike. There is no resemblance, more especially between the north and the south. None whatsoever. The Biafrans mainly, the southeast with the rest. There is no place, there is no meeting point. Our value system is miles apart. That is why you are seeing the terrorism you are seeing today. That is why you are seeing. And the worst is that those that have the worst value system are the ones who are fighting to dominate the others. The domination that we are accused of today. The people that are fighting to dominate today. Go and check. Who are those fighting to dominate? Those that are fighting to dominate today, they are the North. Trying to dominate by force. And somehow, people are not outraged the way they are outraged at the Biafrans who are not doing it, who are just trying to protect themselves. As far as I know, the Biafrans, their only project is to make sure that they preach their gospel. Make sure their voice is heard. That is their problem. Make sure the message of Biafra is to liberate every single soul in that contraction current. It is not a selfish message to liberate only the Biafran people or liberate only the Igbo people. No. We want every single soul in Nigeria to be liberated. We want everyone to be free. Whether you are from the north, we are from the west, you are from the south, you are from the east, you are from the middle belt. We want every single soul to be liberated. That is the message of Biafra. And because of some personal interest, some gain that some idiots are making, they are fighting against the will of the people. Because of personal interest, because of ego, wickedness, some people are fighting against what they are supposed to protect. It is sad. Very, very sad. And that is unacceptable. Wherever you are today as a Biafran, you must stay strong. From all these explanations that we have seen, and you saw what transpired and why the 1966 coup took place that have been explained in ABC. Go back and watch that very point. Why the question was direct to our eternal leader. Why was the 1966 coup carried out? And he explained it in detail, not like Gowon that have lost his mind, that will be stammering. When you ask him questions, he'll be stammering without explanation. He made it very, very clear. Go back and watch it. You will understand why it is necessary for people to go their separate ways. It is not out of hatred. It doesn't, when we go our separate ways, it doesn't mean that we cannot intermarry. We can still intermarry. We can still intermarry. It doesn't stop our intermarriage. Going our separate ways does not mean we will not communicate anymore. No. It does not mean that we will not relate. We can still relate. We can still communicate. We can still do business together if we choose to. But for sanity, and in the process of forcing us together, they build hatred. Hatred to the extent that people do not care. Even when millions of children of Biafrans were dying, Awolowo never cared. The same Awolowo who they wanted to make a president did not care. Nigerians watch our children die in hunger. What they care about is one Nigeria. Today is Nigeria one. That Nigeria that you want to keep one and you do the life of millions of Biafrans, is it one today? And you wonder why you are still facing the hunger. The same hunger we face, the same starvation we face is going on in Nigeria today. And I bet you, just like Mazen Nandi Bukanu said, for everything we suffered, you are going to suffer it in tenfold. You're going to suffer. It's not a cause. It is a prayer that you prayed for yourself and to be answered. To be answered. For everything we suffered, you are going to suffer more. For everything we suffered, you are going to suffer more. And we will never back down.
If you know how concerned people outside...
I want you to listen to this video. Pay attention. You know, sometimes when we say things, people will think we're just making accusation. You will see the response the Nigerian soldiers, the Nigerians we are given. When a British pressman was interviewing him, a British journalist was interviewing Awolowo, and the Nigerian whatever about the starvation in Biafra land. Why are they allowing the starvation? Are they watching? Why are they watching? That the starvation is too much, that they should end the war. Just as they come in their pro, they say, hey, the war would have ended. It is avoidable. Very much avoidable, can be ended. But you see where they were being interviewed. Awolowo doesn't want it to end. He said it in black and white that he cannot end the starvation simply because people are dying. That they cannot end the war. They can't avoid it. While our eternal leader, Tim Odumugoju, was asking that he is ready to abide by everything, anybody that has a possible solution, anybody that has any democratic solution to the problem, that he will abide by it. On video, our eternal leader said that. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, they were having a different plan. Awolowo was insisting that hunger, starvation, and the loss of life of our children doesn't really matter to them. Let us listen to this.
Colonel, I wonder if you know how concerned people outside Nigeria really are, including people in Britain, at the dangers of mass starvation.
This question of food or no food is just cockeyed. It's just a sort of cover plan. This country is independent and we're going to retain it that way, humanitarian reasons or not.
But we are certainly not going to end the war on account of people being starved.
Did you hear that?
All is fair in war, so we are told, and that is the position.
Did you hear that? He said the war cannot end. This is Awolowo was speaking. That they cannot just end the war because people are starving. That all is fair in war, including starvation. Even when he was confronted that children are dying, children are starving to death. Awolowo was told, children are starving to death. And he said, we cannot stop the war simply because people are starving. That all is fair in war. So when some of the time we say Awolowo is to be held responsible for the death of our people, the Yorubas, their leader, contributed to the genocide in Biafra land. It is not a man, we're not just saying it out of hate. These are history. These are informations we know that happened. And why we are saying it that we don't want it to happen again, never again. Just like ACC, the person that jailed Mazen Nandi Ukano with non-existent law today is a Yoruba man. Yoruba government, again, repeating again, look at it again. The person that jailed Mazen Nandi Ukano with non-existent law because of self-determination. A repeat law was used to jail Mazen Nandi Ukano and give him life sentence. Not only that, they transferred him to Sokoto. Was a Yoruba government with a Yoruba judge and a Yoruba prosecutor. Yoruba government with a Yoruba judge and Yoruba prosecutors. They came together, jailed Mazen Nandi Ukano under a non-existing law. A repealed law was used to jail Mazen Nandi Ukano, and he was taken to Sokoto Caliphate. They knew that Sokoto is the greatest enemy of Mazen Nandi Ukano because of the revelations he has made about him. But they took him and took him to Sokoto to keep him there. The same thing Awolowo did is repeated in 2026. The same thing Awolowo did is repeated in our very own eyes in 2025. 2025. The same thing is repeated in 2025. And this is why history is good to be talked about. Bring out most, so it doesn't happen again. But once you begin to hide history, continue to hide it, it will continue to repeat itself. Listen to Awolowo again. So that when you hear us accusing him, you wouldn't say we are saying that of hate. Or you will not say that we are saying it because we don't like them. No, it is not because we don't like him. It is not because we don't like the Yorubas. It is a fact. And you must let the young ones know this truth and the fact so that it doesn't repeat itself. Because once you continue to offer this, hide it, before you know it, the Janjaweed will enter into another Yoruba man to use him again against the Biafrans. The same way they have smuggled themselves into Tinubu today. Tinubu today is still playing the card of the Janjaweed. The same thing our eternal leader explained here that happened in those days, that they went and planted Akintola as a stooge in the southwest to cause confusion, that prompted the revolution of 1966. They are still doing it, and they have succeeded today to put Tinubu. And why they put Tinubu there, they are taking over Kwara. They are taking over Oyo State. They are rampaging the whole place, taking innocent life without anybody stopping them. They are still in charge of the security. As long as Nuhu Ribadu is still there, National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, they are still in charge of information and security. You don't understand it. We will never forget history. Listen to what Awolowo said, his participation in the genocide.
But we are certainly not going to end the war on account of people being starved. All is fair in war, so we are told, and that is the position.
The plight of the civilians is not the number one priority.
But number one priority is the unity of the country.
He said their number one priority is the unity of the country, not the civil, not the innocent children that are dying. You can imagine how heartless a person could be. He was asked a spot-on question Do you mean that the life of the people doesn't matter? So no, their priority, the first priority is the unity of the Zoological Republic. And ask me, is the Zoological Republic united today? The same Awolowo opened his mouth and said that Nigeria is just a geographical expression. He knows. He knows. So how can you say Nigeria is just a geographical expression at the same time you want to force unity and end up taking innocent life? Millions of people died. And you say your priority is still unity. And today, some people are still pursuing that unity. The name of that one Nigeria today is what is destroying Oyo State. It is because of that same one Nigeria today that a teacher is beheaded in Oyo State. It is because of that same unity that 2-year-old child is in captivity in Oyo State. And if you don't stop this, your unity nonsense, more people are going to die. That is why we are calling for the disintegration of the Zoological Republic. Disintegrate that entity so that people can be able to defend themselves, protect themselves, grow in their own space at their own speed. We are not calling for disintegration out of hate. We are not calling for war. All we are calling is for a referendum. Let the people make their choice on what they want. I appreciate everyone that have been with this program. Thank you so much for watching wherever you're watching from. I hope to see you again by the special grace of Chukwu Kabiam. May the grace of Chukwu Kabiam continue to be with all of us. As many as have participated in this program today, I pray that Chukwu Kabiam will guide and protect all of you. May Chukwu Kabiam guide and protect our supreme leader, Mazen Nandi Okukam. Guide and protect our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu, our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu. Chukwu Kabiam guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, wherever he may be. May Chukwu Kabiam be our guide and protector. My fellow Biafrans, I appreciate every one of you. Sometimes it looks very difficult, but I tell you, there is hope. All hope is not lost. No matter how difficult it is, all hope is not lost. All hope is not, no matter what happens, all hope is not lost. But I want to let everyone know that is watching us, the time for accountability is now. The time for protection of lives is now. Thank you for joining today's broadcast. Please share this program. Leave your thought in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you're not so, and let your voice be heard at all times. Don't keep silent. May peace prevail. May justice prevail. May truth prevail. And may every innocent life be protected. I appreciate every one of you once again, wherever you are watching from, either from Biafra land, from Nigeria, Asia, Europe, America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, in any platform you're watching, on Facebook, on YouTube, on other platform, on X. I thank you for being part of this program. Thank you so much for your support. Remain strong. No matter how difficult it is, we must continue. And may Chukwu Kabiam continue to guide and protect. See you again next time. Stay blessed.
This is from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died, that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no longer them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre.
I tell you what I hear. Me nobody come to tell them
heroes, I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore their pride. May your soul rest in peace.
I look up to the sky with tears in my eyes for other Biafrans and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, we'll never be apart.
They fought for our freedom, they died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front without food, without guns, for our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes, we want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and ever, and ever, and ever.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We play in our history that the death of our people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes, those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now if not you? You died at Mali, 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 Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in the heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes, so I'm falling here.
This is for my fallen heroes. Keep them in the patient people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for me, for the freedom of my unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright. Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Yeah. Put the flag in the air. Never be afraid. March on. Cause we are more than conquerors. Yeah. You know what it is.
I'm looking at myself in
We
the
must
mirror.
revenge. And we must stand to represent who we are.